Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, big news. I think it's big news because of the implications that it's going to have on the landscape of boxing. But if you guys haven't heard already, HBO has declined to show Manny Pacquiao's fight against Jessie Vargas on November the 5th. And not just that, they've not only have they declined it, they've also, they are not going to show. They're not like Manny Pacquiao's partner anymore. They're not going to show his fights automatically now. So it opens up a lot of doors. I want to read some of these quotes from Bob Arum and HBO themselves. Bob Arum. This is what Bob Arum said about it's just Bob Arum. Bob Arum said about the HBO not showing the Vargas Pacquiao fight. Here's what he said about the following. I quote, "Definitely, it's not going to be on HBO. HBO had a contract and decided to pass because it was 2 weeks in front of their Ward Kovalev fight." Now, Bob Arum is actually, oh no, he's right. Yeah, November 19th. Yes, 2 weeks. 2 weeks in front of their Ward Kovalev fight. So obviously, HBO. It's no secret if you're in the know in the boxing world that HBO right now is having budget cuts. It's why we haven't seen certain high level production. Certain high level productions from HBO. Like a lot of people have asked, why doesn't HBO do the Face Off series of Max Kellerman and boxers anymore? Well, that's probably why it's not in the budget. And they're putting a lot of money into this Ward Kovalev fight, and it's going to be on pay-per-view. They made a lot of fights pay-per-view, which obviously I don't agree with. I think the Terrence Crawford Postal being a pay-per-view was a terrible, terrible move that hurt them a lot. And not just that, making the Alexander Brand Andre Ward fight on HBO, that was a bad move because honestly, it did solid ratings, but it was a bad move in terms of the taste it left people's mouth, and people might not be as prone to turn on an Andre Ward fight the next time out. But the next time out, he'd be fighting Kovalev, so that's good for them. But what I'm saying about HBO is this, they're in a bad position right now. I think with boxing and the way the world is right now, closed circuit television is not the way to go when you're promoting a fighter. I think it's really a thing of the past. It's an archaic model that it's still relevant because of the power of that networks like HBO and Showtime have. But I believe that honestly, there's better ways to promote fighters, and closed circuit television isn't the way to go. So with that being said, I think Bob Arum and Pacquiao, they're in a very good position actually, because they can go to a CBS, they can go to a Fox, an ABC, an ESPN, and they can go put his fight for free. You mean to tell me if a name like Manny Pacquiao was fighting on free television that the world wouldn't tune in to watch him fight? Hell yeah, they tune in to watch him fight and make him more visible and make one of boxing's biggest stars over the last decade or so a lot more visible. So I think it's actually a good thing. Aside from where this fight might be showed or might be on, what network might be on, I think the fact that HBO is not gonna show his fights and they kind of release the rights to his fights, it definitely brings forth the possibility of a Mayweather Pacquiao 2. Now, obviously, I do not want to see another Mayweather Pacquiao 2. I just think the fans got ripped off, and it's a big black eye for the sport of boxing, and I'd rather not go down that road again. But it is a possibility because we know that one of the hurdles that stopped the first fight, or not stop, but delayed the first fight from happening so much was networks. Floyd was contractually obligated to Showtime, Manny was contractually obligated to HBO, and that's where the money and the percentages and all the executives, that's all the clash of heads. There was a big clash of heads in that regard there. So this frees up Manny from that standpoint. We also know that Bob Arum and Al Heyman have stated that they want to start promoting fights together. And we know for a fact, because they've already done it, that they do this fight again because it, even if it does half of what it did, or even a third of what it did the first fight, it's still gonna make, if it does a third of what it did last time, which is 4 million pay-per-view buys, that it still will be, what, 1,900,000. That's not bad. That's better. That's better than most pay-per-views now. So, hey, it's a possibility. I don't think anybody should rule it out. But yeah, that's the news, man. Pacquiao's not gonna be fighting on HBO anymore, so it's gonna be interesting to see how Bob Arum maneuvers this. Personally, I hope that the fight winds up not on Showtime, because you know that's a possibility. But I want to see this. I want to see this fight get aired on ESPN, because number one, I feel like, you know, with Mayweather and Pacquiao, right, with everything they put boxing fans through, with the black eye they left in the sport, I think both of them, not just Manny, but both of them, in some way, shape, or form, they owe boxing fans, as far as, like, you know, for putting up for such a bad fight, for screwing the fans out of the money, for charging people to go to the weigh-ins. You know, I get the whole supply and demand principle, but it was just really, it was terrible. And a lot of people have turned away from boxing. It's hard for me to even talk to my friends who don't know about boxing or don't watch boxing about boxing, because of that fight that they use as a barometer to judge boxing. So I think it'd be a great, you know, gesture for Manny Pacquiao to fight on ESPN, a network that so many households have across America, and I think it would do record-breaking numbers, just because of his name. So, hey, that's the news, man. Manny Pacquiao's fights will not, Jessie Vargas fight will not be shown on HBO. HBO declines to show any more of his fights. They basically, yeah, they're done with Manny Pacquiao, so he's now basically a free agent as far as where his fights are shown. So, let me know what you guys think about this, and what the ramifications of this could be, and where would you like to see Manny Pacquiao's fight? You know, network-wise, would you like to see it maybe on Showtime or HBO, or maybe a free television platform like an ESPN or CBS? Let me know in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.